Hey everyone, and welcome to a new OpenRCT2 update video. Now, OpenRCT2 version 0.4.14 has been released, and the OpenRCT2 developers have called it "Your mother was a hamster."
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Now, this update has some really cool features. So, in this video I will show you the changes which I think are most exciting, and you can read the full changelog in the link that I will leave in the video description. Anyway, let's go over the first change. Alright, for the first change we'll go into the object selection, and then over here you can see park entrance styles. Now you can see now the traditional park entrance is selected, and it always used to be that you could only select one park entrance, but now we can actually select up to 4. So for example, let's do the park entrance gates as well. Park entrance building, why not? And also let's have the North American park entrance. And if we now go into the into the map window here, we enable sandbox mode, so we have scenario editor tools inside our normal opened save game. Then over here you can see the park entrance icon, and that brings up a window where we can actually select different park entrance styles. Now you may be wondering how it's useful to have multiple park entrances styles in the same park. Well, for example, you could have multiple themed areas, or something which I know people will use it for mostly on my server, is that people like to use these pieces as decoration. So it's nice if you can actually use multiple park entrances. Alright, the next feature that's been added to the game, well, I just opened Park, as you can see, and you can see that the scenery and supports are now all see-through. And basically there's a default transparency setting, and every time you open a save game or scenario, it will respect that setting. So if this happens to you, you just have to go to the transparency options over here, and just set the scenery and the supports to visible. And now the next time you open a scenario, they should stay visible for you. But yeah, whatever you set it to, that will be the setting for whenever you open a new save game or scenario. It will stay the way you put it. Alright, the next thing I want to show is, here you can see Park again, but with the park fences visible. And previously, if you wanted to hide them, you would have to go to the in-game console and you would type remove park fences. Now that command no longer works. Instead, it's now a bit more user-friendly. You go to the cheat menu, and here you go to the park cheats, and now there's a button here that says remove park fences. So now the park fences have all been hidden. And this is something that's really useful if you're, for example, making a contest entry where you don't want the default park fences to show. Okay, I'll stick to Park for a bit. A new cheat has been added. So if we go to the guest cheats here, it should be over here. Here it is. It says guest ignore prices. And basically when I turn this on, guest will never think that an attraction is too expensive. So for example, we can set this spiral slide to a real absurd amount. We'll do the same for the merry-go-round. I do believe a guest still needs to have the correct amount of money to be able to enter it, but they will never think it's too expensive. And this should also work for any shops or stalls in the park. So if you have trouble getting your rides exciting enough for guests to actually ride them in a scenario, you could now use this cheat to make it simpler for yourself. Okay, another new function has been added. Here we can see Three Monkeys Park. Now I've just paused the game for a bit so these trains stay in place. But if we go to the paint menu now and we select different colors per train, there's now a button here that says Randomise All. If you click it, all the trains will get random colors. And the same goes if you select different colors per vehicle. Now if you want, you can select random colors for every vehicle. Okay, here's something which has been changed to the game, which we may soon see in a plugin. Basically, the game exposes a lot of attributes of rides and of guests to the plugin API. So then, when you use a plugin, you are able to modify some of those values. So we already have the ride vehicle editor plugin, and with that we can already change a lot of stuff about coaster vehicles, for example. And one extra feature that has been exposed to the API is the spin of a vehicle. And then that actually relates to a spinning wild mouse vehicle, for example, or a Virginia Reel vehicle. Now, in this version of the plugin, the spin is not exposed yet, but we may actually soon have this available in a new version of the ride vehicle editor. I really hope it gets added soon. Now, for the next feature, I don't actually have any save games available where I have played with money. I usually play without money, because I just like to build epic stuff. But here we have Imagination Mega Park, and I just quickly enabled money here. As you can see, we've lost a lot of money, because we just had to pay a lot of staff members. There's hundreds of them in the park. But yeah, something which you can now do is that you can actually resize the finance window. I think it's pretty neat. It allows you to see some more details. That's I think that's really cool. And I think it's also the case for the... no, it's not actually for the park guests, but I do see it now shows numbers above 5,000, so that's nice. Okay, the next one is one of my favorite features. Something which always annoyed me is that you could not actually... it wasn't actually easy to place paths higher up. Let me quickly disable the money again. So you would always have to move your mouse pointer to where you wanted the path to be, and then you couldn't actually raise it up. You either had to do that through the tile inspector, or you had to start low at the ground level and then create a path that led all the way upwards. Something like this, and then you had to, for example, go like this, and then you could place a path here, and then remove this sloped part of the path again. But now you can actually just like with other scenery, if I want to have another path at this level here somewhere, I could just hover over here, hold Ctrl. Now you can see I can just place a path piece anywhere, and this now also works with Shift. So if I hover over the ground here and hold Shift, you can now raise a path up and then place it over here. So a huge quality of life change. Something which you can even do is, for example, hover over this path here, hold Ctrl, and then over here, while still holding Ctrl, I'll hold Shift, and now I can build over here. Really cool feature. Alright, the next change is a little bit more technical. Basically, quite a few scenarios had pieces of land ownership missing. So for example, in a lot of scenarios you can buy land, but it's apparently easy for the creator of the scenario, even Chris Sawyer, to actually miss a piece. And in quite a few of these scenarios, the OpenRCT2 developers actually fixed some of those missing tiles. Now, the number of scenarios in which this was done just kept increasing and increasing. And first it was all done in the game code, but the developers have actually moved it away to Parkpatch files. So basically for every scenario where they do a fix like this, there's actually a Parkpatch file where these changes are stored. And basically it's just nicer for code maintenance reasons. So you as a player probably won't notice much of this. Now, while we're discussing this, quite a few scenarios once again got tiles fixed in the latest release. Alright, for the next change, the hybrid coaster actually had its maximum lift hill change speed increased, and I believe that was done to reflect the lift hill change speed of the existing RMC coaster Lightning Rod that's in Dollywood, and actually has a pretty fast lift hill. So now you can also make your lift hill for your hybrid coaster faster. Okay, the next change is another little cosmetic change. If you have the clear scenery tool, now your icon actually becomes a bulldozer. Alright, for this next change, there has been a little change in how land ownership works. Well, if you want to purchase land ownership. So for example, here we have the scenario Leafy Lake. There's some land for sale here. Yeah, how it normally works in the scenario has been unchanged. So if I press land ownership here, it brings up a little window like it used to, and here we can buy some land if we want. However, if we're in sandbox mode, now we actually have the tools that you normally have when you're in a scenario. So now you can see this little window changed. So now we have more options here. So for example, now we set it to land not owned. So actually we get money back now. So we can actually sell our land. Now we can also set land to owned. So now we buy the land. And we can also set construction rights or for sale, or construction rights owned, or land for sale if you want. Yeah, I think that's a pretty neat change. And these tools are also still available in the map window here. So here on the right, if we're in sandbox mode, we now have these icons, and it brings up the same window that it brought up when we clicked it over here. Speaking of which, the map window now also had an overhaul. When we are in sandbox mode, well, the icons used to be below here, but the icons that used to be here, so for the land ownership and for the placing an extra park entrance or the guest spawn point, those icons are now all on the right here. And I think that it makes the map window a little bit more compact. Alright, and for the final change that I want to show in this video, the cheat menu actually has gotten an overhaul. It now has a lot more tabs than it used to have, and all the cheats have been, some of the cheats actually have been reordered into different tabs. I think it's really nice. So over here, for example, we have financial cheats. Here you can set no money, for example, or you can give yourself money or clear your loan. You can set the date here if you want. Here are all the guest cheats. We have some staff cheats over here. Over here we have some park cheats. Here we have the ride cheats. And finally here's the nature or weather cheats, where we can actually, for example, create some ducks, which is really useful. Alright, those were not all the changes that have been done in this release. There's a few more. You can check them out in the change log. I will leave a link in the video description. Now, if you enjoyed this video, or if you think this video was useful for you, please leave a like on this video. It would really help out my channel. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can always subscribe. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.